This is the bottom of page 189. This video will likely go ahead and go through questions 15 and 16 and then go on to the beginning of the next page. Read along with me. Sheldon needs to buy 8 gallons of ice cream for a family reunion. The table shows the prices for different sizes of 2 brands of ice cream. And you need to notice there's a small and a large for each of the 2 brands, but they all have different units, and so we're going to have to do some converting. So it would behoove us to have access to our table of conversions from page 186. All right, number 15 reads, which size container of Cold Farm ice cream is the better deal for Sheldon, and explain. So notice that we're only allowed to look at Cold Farm for this question. So we're going to compare $2.50 for a pint to $4.50 for a quart. And there's different ways to do this. One thing I would get clear in my mind is the conversion between quarts and pints. So for example, and you can see this on your conversion chart, 1 quart is equal to 2 pints. And so what you can do is you can use that to compare the 2 sizes. This one's a quart and this one's a pint, which means if I double this, it would become a quart. So if I double this, I'll go ahead and take this information right here. And what I'll do here is I'll do $2.50 for 1 pint, and I'll double it. And if you double that, you're going to get $2.50 times 2 is going to be $5. And you're going to get a quart, because 2 pints is a quart. So if you take 1 pint and double it, you get 2 pints. That's the same thing as a quart. So now what I can do, I keep using the QU, but it's just QT. What I can do now is I can compare this price to this price. And this price is $5 for a quart, and this is $4.50 for a quart. So which size is the better deal? It's going to be the large size. It says explain. I would probably say because if you double, the cost of the small, it would be $5 per quart. Now if you're thinking to yourself, well, we didn't figure out the price of 8 gallons. If you go back up to the original question, it says something about 8 gallons. He needs 8 gallons. But this question you don't need to actually compute the price of 8 gallons. If the price of the large one's a better deal, it's a better deal. So it doesn't matter if we compute the price of 8 gallons. Now what I'm going to do is go check out question 16. 16 reads, go ahead and erase all this actually. 16 reads, which size and brand of ice cream is the best deal? So there's different ways to do this. One way to do it is to find the price per gallon of all of them. This one we already know is $9.50 per gallon. This one right here we can figure out the price per gallon by multiplying by 4. Now why are we going to multiply that by 4 is because 4 quarts is a gallon. And this one right here we could multiply by 4. If we multiply that by 4, you'd have 4 quarts as a gallon. This one we're going to have to multiply by a different number. 2 pints are in a quart and there are 4 quarts in a gallon, so this one we're going to multiply by 8. So I hope that makes sense. If we multiply all these numbers by 8 or 4, we're going to get a gallon for each. So I'll just do one at a time. If you multiply $4.50 times 4, that would be, you could do it mentally by doing $4.50 times 2 is $9, times 2 is 18, but I'm going to multiply it out and show you that it's 18. 4 times 0 is 0, 4 times 5 is 20, 4 times 2 is 16, plus 2 is 18. You can see that that's $18 because you move your decimal over 2 places. So this one is $18 for a gallon. So I should probably say per gallon. That one's $18 per gallon. This one's $9.50 per gallon. That's a much better deal. I have 2 more to figure out though. I've got to figure out this one that's $2.50 times 8. We could do that again. We could do $2.50 times 2 and multiply that by 2 and multiply that by 2. Or I can just do $2.50 times 8. I know this is a little bit messy just doing it on my page, but that's okay. That happens sometimes. 8 times 0 is 0. 8 times 5 is 40. 8 times 2 is 16, plus 4 is 20. This is $20 per gallon. And this one's going to be $4.25. I'm going to do it over here, I guess. $4.25 times 4. And 425 times 4 is, that's 20. That's 8 plus 2 is 10. And that's 16 plus 1 is 17. That's going to be $17 per gallon. So we've got $17 per gallon. We've got $20 per gallon. We've got $18 per gallon. And we've got $9.50 per gallon. So clearly the best deal is Cone Dreams large size. It asks which size and brand. So it's Cone Dreams large size is the best deal. Cool. Okay, well, we still have time on this video, so we're going to go ahead and go to the next page and do at least the first couple questions. Probably get a little whiteboard here. We'll see. We might have time for 3 more. We'll see. Number 17. This is at the top of page 180. This is at the top of page 190, actually. All right, number 17. In Beijing in 2008, the women's 3,000-meter steeplechase became an Olympic event. What is this distance in kilometers? So this is a conversion problem where we know that we're converting between meters and kilometers. So it makes sense to go back to your table and look at the conversion between meters and kilometers. And it is 1,000 meters is 1 kilometer. And we are given 3,000 meters. So I'm going to put that as my first term. And we have to figure out how many kilometers that is. And this, and when you set it up, this is really simple math. You just multiply by 3. And 1 kilometer times 3 is 3 kilometers. And that's the answer. Really simple. All right, number 18. Reads, how would you convert 5 feet 6 inches to inches? 5 feet 6 inches equals blank inches. Now, what you need to recognize is that 5 feet 6 inches needs to be separated into 2 parts. First of all, how many inches is just 5 feet? Well, you need to know that the conversion is that 1 foot is 12 inches. And you need to know 5 feet, so you're going to multiply by 5 to get 5 feet. 5 feet is 60 inches. So our answer is 60 inches, but we've got to add on these 6 right here. So 5 feet is 60 inches, and then we have another 6. We're going to add those and get 66. Now the question doesn't exactly say what is the answer. What I'm going to do here is I'm going to write 66 inches. And then it doesn't exactly say explain, but I'm going to. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to say 5 feet times 12 equals 60 plus 6 equals 66 inches. I think that's a good, it says how would you, and so we kind of just showed our work to explain what we did. All right, we're going to go ahead and try 1 or 2 more problems, and we probably won't do every problem on this page, but that is okay. All right, we're going to check out hot question number 19. Analyze relationships. A class 4 truck weighs between 14 and 16,000 pounds. What is the weight range in tons? So what you do is you go to your, I'm going to go ahead and move this up actually. You go to your table and you recognize that 1 ton is 2,000 pounds. One ton is 2,000 pounds. And so what we're doing is going to notice that this one is 14,000 pounds. So how would you get from 2,000 pounds to 14,000 pounds? You would multiply by 7. And so that would be what? It'd be 7 tons. Now that's for the low end. And it says what is the rate range, which means we're going to provide 2 answers. We're going to say between 7 tons and we got to do our next answer, which is 16,000 pounds. So I'm going to do the same thing right here, except for I'm going to erase this 7, and I'm going to say how do I get from 2,000 pounds to 16,000 pounds? I'd multiply by 8, because 2 times 8 is 16. So 2,000 times 8 is 16. If you multiply one term by 8, you have to multiply the other term by 8, so that would be 8 tons. So the answer is asking between 7 tons and 8 tons. A class 4 truck weighs between 7 and 8 tons. All right, so question B reads, if the weight of a Class 4 truck is increased by 2 tons, will it still be classified as a Class 4 truck? And explain. So here's kind of how this is going to work. If you increase the weight of a truck by, let's say you take the Class 4 truck that weighs 14,000 pounds and you increase its weight by 1,000 pounds, it would then weigh 15,000 pounds. It would still be a Class 4 truck. Or you could even increase it by 2,000 pounds and it would still be a Class 4 truck. But how much is 2 tons? 2 tons is equal to 4,000 pounds. So think about that. If you take a 14,000 pound truck and increase it by 4,000 pounds, it would weigh how much? It would weigh 18,000 pounds. So no matter what, it wouldn't be a Class 4 truck anymore because it exceeded the 16,000 pound limit. So the answer is no, because 2 tons equals 4,000 pounds. So the weight would exceed the 16,000 pound limit. I feel pretty good about that answer. And you should too. Okay, we are out of time for this video, and I think we'll just wrap it up and be done with this page as well. So good job, you are done with page 190.